I don't know. This Zoom account's way better. It's like the upgraded one. I don't know. The other one I was using is a cheap one. So I was
Oh,
all
don't
right. I'm gonna
worry
just use
about
this
it.
one. I'm
Don't
sorry.
worry about
I'm
it.
glad this finally works.
I know. I was like, I would love to talk to you.
I was like, what is going on here? Yeah, this one has I don't know, this Zoom account's way better.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. I'm glad.
yeah, I'm sick of Zoom though. I need to get and I don't know. I hate this.
I know. It'd be so cool, like, to be able to go back into like studios and just like
Yeah, because this is killing me. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
I know, I know.
But how you been? I appreciate you coming on. I know you big doing big things right now. You probably don't have a lot of time, so I appreciate you coming on right now.
Oh my gosh, no, like you guys are the best. And I feel like it's like I'm so grateful that you even reached out. So
No, that's good. Congratulations on the engagement, by the way. I forgot to
oh,
say
thank
that.
you. Thank you so much. It's been a long time coming. So
Yeah, you guys were like high school sweethearts. I think I read that.
no, we didn't meet in high school. We met in college.
Oh, that's cool too. That's crazy. No, that's dope. I just got back from a wedding, like it was lit. So
Oh, it
yeah.
was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you already start planning everything?
we're trying. We're getting stuff together as time goes on, and yeah, there's so much that goes into that next chapter of life. So we're just taking it day by day. But
Yeah, no, my friends were like, yo, this was like the most stressful time of my life planning the wedding. I said, oh, really? And then like I met and then his wife was like, he didn't even do nothing. And I was like, oh, I was
yeah,
like, okay.
yeah,
I said, so what was so stressful for you, man? He said, it's
yeah.
just stressful.
Yeah, it's the energy around it. A lot of people's opinions, a lot of people telling you how you should have that day, and the cool thing is that like Ben and I, we really are like we're a team, so we make decisions together, and like it's been. I think that's important when you're making decisions for both of you. So it is what it is.
Did you guys ever think about just like getting married, having like a little like just like a family around and then go on like spend most of the money on vacation and everything? Kind of
I
like weddings are like expensive as hell. So I was like, I don't know why people just mostly just go do that, like go take a month off of vacation.
you know I feel like with COVID, I think that seeing so many people get married during that time, you start to realize what's actually important instead of what people should like what they tell you need to do when you get married. So I've definitely thought about that. My family were like super celebratory. We love to like celebrate things and milestones and celebrate people's accomplishments and birthdays and marriages. So it kind of felt like it would be almost like a slap in the face if I didn't include my family and like our family to be a part of it. So, um, but it is cool to see people kind of doing things differently. Like you do have that choice. You do have the choice to kind of make it more intimate and then celebrate in a different way. So I'm trying to remember that too and just see what works.
No,
But
yeah, he was talking about like I wish I had like just my family and friends. He said I had he's like I don't know half these people at my wedding.
I know,
I was like, oh, he said, yeah. He said, I don't know why I'm paying for people's food and stuff that I don't know. I was just
I
dying.
know.
So I was like, oh.
That's
So,
real. It's so real. We're going
he
through it.
said,
It's real.
my mom invited her friend that I don't know of, and da 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 da. I don't know none of these people.
I know.
So I
Yeah.
was just that was funny. White Lotus is the show. Like, I was been watching it. I was like, yo, I gotta get Brittany on. I was like, yo, this show is crazy. How did that even come about?
It came about so I normally just get like emails from my team and auditions and whatnot, um and I just got an email and it said the Untitled Mike White project, and I was like, oh wow. I realized one of the my favorite movies that I saw in my adult life that I felt like I resonated with was Beatrice at Dinner. And he wrote Beatrice at Dinner, and I just connected so much to what the characters were saying, and you could really put yourself in everybody's shoes in that. And so when I got the audition, I just sent it on tape, and it was during COVID, and I didn't really expect to hear anything. And then when I heard that my audition was well received, and that's when things started to roll. And then I was lucky enough to get the part to play Paula, and then I got all the scripts sent to me, and I didn't realize that my character was going to have such a big arc, and it's starting to unfold. Like, I think it unfolded yesterday. I didn't watch the episode yesterday. I'll probably watch it when I feel ready.
No, yeah, everything's like it's so dope about even like the cast. I was like, yo, how did you get all these like amazing cast members together for one show? I was
Yeah.
just like, yo, like when did you learn that like who's your like supporting cast is gonna be?
I learned when I got the role. They're like, you have an offer. These are the people that are, going to be playing these characters. I was like, what? And I was just like, some of these people, I grew up watching and just, or also like recently became aware of other people's work and thought they did an incredible job. So it was a really cool cast. And the really cool part that I loved about filming this show so much is everybody's just like a true artist. Like, they really cared about the characters and playing them, and they cared about the story. Like, that is such a fun experience, and you just learn so much from the people around you. And that's just what made this project so freaking cool. Like, and I felt like I learned so much from my peers. I love collaborating with other actors and being able to watch these people who have had seasoned careers or have had great success and portrayed characters beautifully. Like, that was just cool for me to be a part of it, and be able to contribute, what's in my noggin too. So yeah.
Did you guys shoot this in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, we
How
did.
how was that like?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. How was that like? Cause like I was just I don't know. Hawaii is just so dope. How was that like?
Oh man, it was cool. We were kind of in an NBA bubble situation. So
Oh,
we
see.
had to leave the resort. For the first half, it was just all of us it was just the cast and crew, and we were staying at this hotel. And it was really cool, but it was also kind of creepy because it was just us. And so it was kind of like,
it was just you guys in the hotel?
yeah, for the first half, like guests were
Oh.
coming in, and then the second half, the guests started coming in, and it was just such an interesting experience. Like, I've never been in a hotel that was empty before, and then guests started trickling in because things started opening up again, and it was interesting to watch different people and how guests and staff interacted and how they interacted with us. And it was an interesting dynamic, but so much fun, and so grateful to just be able to do it safely, and to work. Like, a lot of us hadn't worked for like a year. I knew that the last time I got a job, I finished filming, was November of 2019. And so just to be able to have a job a year later during such a crazy time, I felt super grateful. So
That's amazing. So like Paula and Olivia, like you and Sydney's, like how was like working with Sydney? Because like you guys like on screen chemistry was like amazing. Like Paula and Olivia are like, I was like, yo, you guys are so petty. Like especially like the first like I think 2-3 episodes, like y'all were so petty. So like how was that like?
No, working with Sydney was awesome, and I recently just watched Euphoria before I got the job. So I was super excited because I thought she did such a beautiful job portraying her character on Euphoria. And when we were playing these characters and kind of collaborated in the beginning with Mike, I think we had a lot of fun with it. And I mean, I think that we kind of bounced off each other, and we came in as camaraderie. And I think that was super important for creating that dynamic. And we kind of created backstory for them and their relationship and how things would unfold as the storyline progressed. And we just had a lot of fun. There were so many times where there were lines that she would say that would just crack me up, along with like other characters. So, and she's a hard worker. So it's great to work with someone you can bounce off of and who takes their craft seriously. So that was an amazing opportunity to work with someone my age who does, do what they do, and they do it well.
No, yeah. It seems like every scene on the show is just like must watch. Like I want to know like what was your favorite scene so far, like as a series right now? Like what was your favorite scene?
There's a lot of really good scenes. I'm trying to think. One of my favorite scenes is with Natasha and Jennifer in the beginning where she's having her first session with her and saying, I am my own like phallic mother and vaginal father. I'm like, what the I just crack up. And the way that Natasha just takes it so seriously when she's saying it just rolls me over. I'm sorry, my dog, I don't know if you can hear her, she's snoring. You're like, what's that sound? Sounds like Brittany snoring while talking to my dog. But
yeah, you're a younger sibling, right? I want to make sure.
Yes, I have an older sister, and then I'm the middle child. So I have an older sister, and we're a year and a half apart, and I have a little brother that's 16, so he's 8 years younger than me and 10 years younger than my older sister.
Did your sister ever treat you like how Olivia treats Quinn?
Maybe in little ways, like
was there like a moment you're like, yo?
No, not to that extent. Our parents definitely raised us to get along, and if we're not getting along, like, you better get along. So that's kind of how our family operates. Like, there's no BS with that. So yeah, my sister does not treat me the way that they're not in that dynamic. Yeah, so
how's it like being the middle sibling? I know my sister Kiki, she's the middle sibling, and she always complained, and she'd be like, I get treated the worst, and da 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 da. And I know, like, the middle child, like, I think it's like they get treated the worst. So how's it like being the middle sibling?
I mean, personally, being a middle child, I could say that I agree, but then that's just me being very middle child-ish, you know? Like, but I think being the it's interesting. I think that there's like a dynamic where you do kind of feel like there's someone older and then there's someone younger, and there's aspects where people do get more than what you feel like you want. But I think I totally am in that middle child stereotype. Like, I'm definitely a very middle child on that. So I probably agree with Kiki.
Was there an instance that you're like what was like the last instance, like, yo, this is like being like a middle child, like because your siblings got to do this or da 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 da? Like, what was the last instance?
I don't remember. Was like maybe just little stuff like, oh, I feel this way about something. It's like, well, too bad. It's kind of just typical stuff like that. It's
oh yeah, because I remember last time Kiki was complaining about Christmas, and she was like, yo, I didn't get the most, like, you guys got way more presents than me. I said, and I was like, she has a kid, so we're like, yeah, we gave you all your presents to everybody, to your son. Like,
yeah.
She's like, still, it's not for me though. I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like that. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I wanted you to do this for, why wasn't it about me? And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, logically, we are doing this for you. You just feel like we're not doing it for you. That's definitely a middle child thing. Like, I definitely am in that boat. Like, Kiki should have about calling it middle child. There's actually a wine called Middle Child. Like, the middle child, my sister got it for me. And she's like, here you go.
There's a wine?
Yeah, there's a wine called the Middle Child or the Middle Sister or something.
Oh, that's
I think
interesting.
At Target.
I wonder who created that. They must have took that to the extreme. Like, they must have had some real life, like, middle child. I don't know. They must have really felt a way about that.
Yeah, they're like, I'm the middle child, and I'm gonna make a wine to soothe all the problems of the middle children around the world. So yeah, it's at Target.
Hopefully, I know J. Cole made the song "Middle Child." I don't even think he's a middle child. I don't even think he's a middle child though. I don't even know, but but no, yeah, a middle child. Y'all started coming up. I see y'all coming up.
Yeah, it's validated. Yeah.
What was like some of the things you learned from your other cast members while being on the set of White Lotus?
I learned a lot. I learned a lot from my cast members. I think that I learned about different work ethics, and I think also, like, when I worked on Star, I worked with a lot of musicians, on that show. And I think that I learned a lot from musicians working on that show for 3 years. And then when I started working with shows where it's mainly based on like your acting ability, I think that I learned a lot of, I think I felt a lot of validation about certain things. Like I learned that, oh, it is valid to feel this way about your character or how you portray a character or how you prepare for it. The process of being an actor, like I think I learned a lot behind the scenes of how people have handled their careers over the years, emotionally, or just even choices that they make career wise. That was something that I learned a lot from the cast of White Lotus.
What's one thing you would tell yourself now as an actress then that you wish you would like know, or what's one thing you would have known that you know now as an actress than you would have when you first started?
I think that I would say that, I mean, I'm learning so much. If I was looking back, I would say like you're enough to play the characters that you have the opportunity to play. Like you can tap into those emotions and be present and portray characters and keep growing. You know, I think it's totally important to keep growing every job that you get and learn from the people around you. And I love doing that. I love stepping into other shoes, like other people's shoes. And that's something that I, feel is important.
Yeah. You just mentioned Star. Do you guys still get like requests about like if there's another season? I heard there's supposed to be like a movie coming out. Like I know I told a couple people like, yo, when Star coming back? I was like, pretty sure it got canceled. Or it's like I don't know, or like I don't know what you want me to do. But I'm pretty sure there's still petitions going on to be like, I need a movie, a Star movie or something. Like, do you guys still get those?
Yeah, every day. Every day. Or if you meet someone on the street, like, and I totally understand because it ended on such a cliff note. So it's painful for people because they get so attached to these and invested in characters and feel like they find themselves in these characters. And when it's just cut off, especially the way that it was cut off. So yeah, I get it. All of us, all of the cast gets it every day. So.
Has there ever been a talk about that? Cause like if I'm a studio, I'm like, okay, if all these people want Star back, like at least you gotta bring something to, even if it's like a movie or even if it's like 3 hours or whatever. Like, did you guys ever like talk to them or anything about like doing something?
Yeah, I think it's kind of out of like the actors. It's kind of out of our control. It's more about what the network feels, the creators feel, and what's possible. And there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. And I think that there have been attempts. I'm not really sure, but we're kind of just as much in the dark as anybody else is about it. So it's really painful for us too. You know, we go through that process, like, we didn't make the decision to end it. And it's just kind of like this.
So we all got it
every day. It's like, yeah, no, we're not coming back. Like it's not happening. It hurts, but it also, we just look back and we have a beautiful family and we told a really awesome story that a lot of people could relate to, and being able to work with the people that we did was just life-changing. So there's positives to it, and just like the appreciation from the fans and the loyalty and the way that they feel. And that is something that is totally valid and really beautiful for us to witness. So the show wouldn't be what it is without the people that really invested in the story.
So we all should go harass Lee Daniels to make it come back then.
I don't know about that. I mean, he's making great work. He's making these great films that I mean are incredible. So with the loss of Star, there's so many other beautiful stories that are being told. So I don't know if harassing him would be the best option, but maybe there's something that could happen, like a reunion, or I think that maybe something down the line will come.
Have you guys had like you and Ryan and Jude talk about like just working on something like just outside of Star, like just working on a project? Because like I think people really just want to see y'all three together again.
Yeah. I mean, like we get together when we can, but we don't really think about like working on stuff professionally, we just like, oh, let's go see each other as soon as we can, or oh, like, you know, we really out of all of it became close as friends. So we just continued to see each other. I see Amaya a lot. Like I just like, we all continue to just be in each other's lives. So we haven't really talked about working together specifically, but we just, you know, we just check in with each other and love each other. And I mean, we created a family. How could you not be a family after that, you know?
Yeah. Has there ever been like a set you've been on that's been like a close, not close. I don't think nothing would be close to that, but like, it's like, all right, this is like a next, like, you know, like you guys had that family. Is there like a set you've been on that, like, okay, this is like my other family too?
Yeah, like I've definitely created close bonds with people. Um, the projects that I've done after Star have not lasted as long. Um, and I think that what made Star so special was we went through a bunch of milestones together, major milestones, and we're in it together. And but on other shows, I have created such close bonds with people and love, like even White Lotus, being able to live in a space for a month and a half with people, that's going to make you super close. And you have dinner together every night. You're filming together. You're living in the same space. You're living on the same floor. Like that created a really close bond that I don't think that I'm ever going to lose with the cast. So you do start creating these other, you know, forms of family within your work, which is the awesome part about being an actor, I think, is you have the ability to create these close bonds with people.
What's like your favorite thing about acting? So like since your career has started?
I think my favorite part is being able to unleash parts of me that I don't feel like I unleashed in my normal life. So if there's aspect, you know, just characters, I get to stretch myself. I also get to learn about myself and other people. I love getting to know people in a way that you might not get to know people in a 9 to 5. And I consider myself to be a very creative person and a very emotional person. And yeah, I think that that's one of my favorite parts. And I think that as someone that does feel deeply, I think that I get to put that to good use by portraying characters that maybe other people can relate to. That's definitely my favorite part of it all.
Do you ever plan on like doing like music? I know you have like a beautiful voice and everything. So I was just like, I always wondered that. Like, I kind of just, you ever thought about doing like I'm gonna create an album one day, or it's just like right now it's just acting?
I've definitely thought about it. You know, I love singing. I loved, you know, I had a background in musical theater and loved expressing stories through music. And if the opportunity arises, I've had people come up to me and ask if I would make an album who were in the music industry. And I think it's, you know, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right and do it well, and have it come from a place of me. And I haven't really delved into creating music from something that comes within. I'm always being given music and to portray it kind of like a character. It's like, this is a character I want you to play, or this is a song I want you to sing. So it would be interesting and kind of like a soul searching journey, I think, if I did decide to start making music, because I think it would be also another intimate part of myself as an artist or as a performer. So we'll see. Like, I'm not like, no, you know, I'm open to it. It just, I think that we'll see if something arises, but it does keep coming up. It's like, I keep booking shows where I do sing, and I didn't expect that, you know, that was an interesting pattern.
If you could collaborate with like one musician right now, who would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Like you just had to get a feature for, like, you say you made an album, you just you got a feature from any musician in the world right now. Who would you be?
You know, I personally, I love Hosier or Hosier. Like, I think his music is so deep and so soulful. And if I could just sing a little like background song, like I don't need to like, if I sing like a note in the background, be like, that's me, you know, like that. I would love to sing. Or even like, I really love Willow Smith as an artist. I think that
Yeah,
she,
I love because she's like not afraid to go any route with it. Like she'll go the pop route, punk rock, or whatever. Like she just, I don't know. I love when musicians do that.
yeah, I do. Like, I think that I love the stuff that she sings about. And I think there's a lot of depth to it. And also, I listen a lot to her. Like, I think her music is just incredible. And I feel her whenever her songs come up on my Spotify that I have saved. And I just don't know if I'd be worthy of even singing with her. That's why I didn't, but I love her music, or like really feel every song that that she sings. So that would be amazing if I was like, if there was a way where I could bring the way that my voice sounds with, hers sound, like I would be just honored, that she's such an amazing artist. Like I just love her performance. I think she's just too cool for school. I guess that's such a granola thing of me to say. She's too cool for school. But like,
Have you
so
seen her? Have you seen her perform? Cause I was that was one of the craziest performances I've ever seen.
I've only seen on YouTube, but I've never been to a concert of hers or seen her. Well, no, I don't think. Yeah, no,
No,
I don't
yeah,
think I've ever seen her perform live.
yo,
Not in person.
she's so like I think she was opening up for Chris Brown, and there was like two people that missed her set, whatever. So she was on there for like an hour, and
Yeah.
she just like, oh my goodness, I was like, yo, this is like the second greatest concert I've been to. Like
So
when Chris came on, I was like, oh, I got my money's worth. Like she plays the drums, she'll hop on the guitar, she'll hop on the flute, whatever. Like it's just ridiculous. I was like, yo, she's like, oh, she's a musician.
mhm. That's why I have so much respect for her. Like I just think that she's just
Yeah.
she's a true musician. I love when people really sit in who they are in their soul. Like, and I think that's what she does as a musician. So I have so much respect. I think Hosier does that. I think Will Smith does that. Like, I just love when people really sit in their artistic flow and maybe are a little less about like, I appreciate bops 100%. Like I appreciate like songs that are, meant for us to like, kind of groove to or be catchy. Like I need songs like that in my life. But I've definitely gravitated towards those kind of artists for sure. And if I could
Right.
sing one of them at some point, I'd be like,
If there's a show are you watching any shows that you like wish you could be on right now? Like, yo, I wish I was a part of that.
I'm trying to think. Um, there was a couple of shows, like there was two shows this year that I just felt like were super good. Like the fourth season of Fargo was incredible. And I remember staying up. It was like the same time Bridgerton came out, and I thought I would be gravitated to Bridgerton, but it was me and my dad, and my fiance, like staying up watching Fargo, and like Chris Rock's performance in it was just amazing. Like all the actors in it were just, it was so good. So if I could have been in a show, I think it would have been like the fourth season of Fargo, or I saw Mayor of Easttown. Like that one was such a good show. I don't think I could have been in it. It's just too dark for me, but I enjoyed watching it. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Or like, I wish I could do some sort of like, one show I really wish I could be on was Finding Your Roots, where they go back in
Oh
history and
yeah,
find like where your family lineage comes from. Like, I would have loved to be on a show like that.
I'd be
That,
scared.
I mean, that's fair to be scared. I think there's some things you don't want to know, or like you don't want to hear, or things that you figure out that your family went through, or what they've done, or like there is stuff that's scary. I understand.
No, yeah, but no, I seen that all the time. Like I think the last one I saw, I think Ava was on it. I
Oh,
thought, oh, this
really?
actually, yeah, I think Ava and Pharrell, I think one of those, yeah, they were on. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of dope. But I was like, I would hate to do that. Like,
Mhm.
no, yeah,
I don't know. I love learning about the past, or like family history, even like ancestral roots, and figuring out where you come from. And then also like why, like, I think sometimes there's parts of us that are ingrained, and we're like, oh, it makes sense. This is where I came from. Or how is it like ancestral trauma in ways, like, how do we fix that? and how do we, move forward better for our future and for our like that's something I'm really into. And so I guess sometimes I'm curious about what the past was, but maybe I should just focus more on the future.
Would you ever create like a documentary of something?
I would love to. Like I love documentaries. I love documentaries. I love learning. Like I think I have a very active brain, so I love learning as I'm watching something. Like it's hard for me to relax. So I love watching on YouTube like there's a channel called Weird History. And it's like, how did people in the medieval times eat? Or like, why, like, what did people in like the Victorian era do for fun? Or like just weird, or like, how did people in ancient Egypt live? And like, there's so many interesting things. So I love to sit down and watch that kind of stuff, or documentaries.
Yeah, that's dope. Would you like get into like writing and directing as well?
I would like to get into writing. Like I would, like, I think that sometimes the power of words is ways that you can express yourself if you don't feel like you can speak it, being able to sit with yourself and express yourself in a way that maybe people kind of shut you down if it's coming from you and your body and your voice. It's like, let me just write this out and explain how I feel, or let me write this to tell a story and move you if my words are not, if my voice or my emotions are not making a clear point. So sometimes I do use writing to express myself, and would love to eventually do that. It's always like scary it's always scary to dive into something new, and you feel like, am I good enough to do this? And maybe it's not even about good enough. It's about just trying and doing it for yourself, I guess.
No, that's amazing. If you could like write and like direct a film, like who would you want to be in your film?
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, I don't know. That's a really good. I think I would use people that I love, people that are in my life, or actors. I always, whenever I'm meeting someone, I envision them in a role. And like I remember when we were filming an episode of Star and Mario Van Peebles was our director, I was like, I could totally envision you. Like if I made a movie about the Harlem Renaissance, like you being the narrator and like the cool guy coming down the street introducing like the world of the Harlem Renaissance. I just, my imagination goes in so many different places. So whenever I like meet someone and feel them and experience who they are, like I just envision this other life or this other world where they can be a part of. And maybe in ways that I think like a lot of actors are put in boxes, and it's like, well, you didn't see this side of this person, or use your imagination to see that they don't have to play just this one type of character. Like they have all these other facets to themselves that you have to look in deep to see and find. So that's why I would love to, like, if I had control over like writing something and casting, I feel like I do have the ability to see beyond what people just see on the surface. So that would be really cool if I had that opportunity to do that. Maybe like down the line, we'll see.
Is there like a certain role you like would want to really play? Like in a biopic of somebody, or just a history, whatever, just.
Yeah. I always wonder if I would ever have the ability to play like Lena Horne or someone who was also an actress and lived in a different time, and their experience being a Black actor in the industry, and how Hollywood tried to shape them into something that was more commercial rather than who they are. Like, I think that I identify with that. I would love to do that, or even learn about people whose stories have never been really told, like Johnny Cash's wife. Like I would like something like that. I didn't even know her story. And when I heard it, like, I was like, I would have loved, if there's a biopic about her, I would love to play her. Yeah, that would be a dream.
Yeah. So what are like 5 good advice for you, like for like actors or actresses like trying to like make it in the industry right now? Like what are like 5 things you would say to them? Like, okay, you should probably try this or do this or da 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 da.
I would say I would just say be true to yourself. Like I think that's so important. Be true to yourself and be gentle with yourself, because it's hard to be in an industry where you need basically people's approval to have this certain like perception of what success is. And sometimes like artists, like there's so many artists that have existed before us who did not get approval in their lifetime, and then they're appreciated for who they are. So that's why I think it's good to stay true to yourself and your purpose. I think it's I also think that it's important to provide support, whether it's like if you're waiting for the phone to ring, that can be really emotionally draining. So like fulfill yourself in other ways and don't wait for the phone to ring. Either like create something yourself, or I think it's important to fill your day with something that fulfills you, because if you're not fulfilled, then you're not going to be fulfilled to do your art, if that makes sense. Like I think the other thing is believe in yourself, and then also be willing to learn from others. Like I think it's so good to just learn. Those are my 5 pieces of advice.
That's good. That's good. What are like what are some things that like viewers don't see in like behind the scenes as like an actor? Cause I know like there's like some people, oh, they're actors, da da da. But I was like, in reality, you guys are on set for like 20 hours a day. It feels like. So like what is that like? Like it's like people only see the result, not their process.
Yeah, it's a long process. I mean, like a scene that takes 2 minutes, like films for like 2.5 hours, and it's just about patience. There's a lot of sitting around and waiting, or it's about patience and a lot of espresso to keep you up for like you wake up early, and then it just depends on the project. But a lot of times it does take a lot of time, but it's fun too. You have a lot of fun, and sometimes you're like, okay, I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over. But there's that one performance that like works. So
yeah. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your time. Sorry about the audio issue.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
But I really appreciate it. Good luck. I know I'm so mad that I just found out White Lotus is a limited series. I was like, oh, what? But I was like, but no, that show is doing amazing. But like, good luck with everything else. We'll always support you and everything. So,
no, Thank you so much. Thanks for the support, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you later.
See.